Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are we doing today? Wow, was yesterday fire or what? Good morning, beautiful Stelita. Thank you, my love, for all the emojis. I love those. Good morning, Deb. Beautiful. Oh, I love you. Deb says her cup runneth over. Mine too, Deb. Good morning, beautiful Amber. Good morning, Jacqueline. How are you, gorgeous? Yeah, so full, so like buzzing on top of the world. Thank you to every single one of you who showed up and participated in yesterday's Being the CEO of You retreat. I mean, I'm still getting all the messages. People are like, wow, this is so great. It was so unique. And more importantly, for me, just such a big shout out and thank you to all of the presenters who showed up. And wow, did they just show up full, right? I mean, right? Jacqueline's at a fire. I mean, yes, straight fire. So grateful, so grateful, so grateful. Definitely don't take any of that for granted, but I definitely want you to hear me say that when you show up, when you are ready and you are determined and you are resolved, it's even though, nevertheless, even though I reached out to, I don't even know how many more, nevertheless, I just kept going. I said, it's going to be this date because I get to launch the boot camp and the mastermind in May so that we can just rock out the rest of this second half as well as in second quarter and then into second half of the year. So it's all good. It's all well. Congrats to those of you who have already claimed your seat at the table, at the boardroom table, in the CEO Bootcamp and Mastermind. Congratulations to those of you who are in. And for those of you who are still thinking, deciding, you're like, what is she talking about? I'm going to drop the link here again. Do not dilly-dally. Do not wait. Just get in. It's going to be the best thing you've ever done because you get to mastermind with me every single day. So, but anyway, we're in the morning show and we're reading from the Audacity to Be Queen. And I want you to still think about what you learned yesterday, what you heard yesterday, how you were experiencing yesterday, and apply that now to this idea, the audacity to be queen in your life, the audacity to be queen in your business. And let me just say, I cannot thank Kay, if you're sleeping, if you're watching, wherever you are today, my love, I literally am not going to call you for anything because you get to sleep. Wow. All day with me, like when I say on it. So that's one of the things that you get to experience. And I'm going to make sure we have that included on the page for the CEO Bootcamp and Intensive, is that while you're in the boot camp with me, you get to use my VAs and you get to feel what it feels like to have help. It's a different energy because one of the things I know, and I think one of the questions from the VIPs was, how do you know what to do, what to focus? A lot of the times you're feeling like you don't know what to do, what to focus because you're just like, your head's going 20 miles a minute, 100 miles a minute. But if you can say, okay, right, these are the 2-3 things that I get to do today. I get to focus on these things today. And then these 2 or 3 things still need to happen, but they don't need to happen with my hands. I can assign a VA to do these 2 or 3 things. When you got, for you who are in, when you experience that, you'll never go back to not having help. And I'm not saying you're going to have help for every single thing, right? Maybe we're not ready for that yet from a budget standpoint, but when you're with me in the mastermind and in the intensive, you get to at least get one thing done with help, and you experience what that feels like to literally be like, look, Ma, no hands, and you're totally hands off, and all you're doing is approving, tweaking, checking. So it's all good. Let's see who else is in the studio. Oh, good morning, AJ. Good morning. Good afternoon. Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. Love, love, love that you're here with us all the way from the motherland. So thank you for joining. I definitely want to encourage all of the Momentum crew to go click that link and get your seat in now. And remember what I said to you, it's a refundable $250. What I don't want you to do is be thinking about it again. Remember, don't do this lone wolf thing. Don't do this, oh, it's just me, woe is me all by myself. Get help. Did you hear Jennifer's story? I mean, wow. I mean, talk about like getting help. Don't decide on your own. Go click, find a credit card, put the $250 on. Every single person who's done that, I'm going to be having a conversation with them and setting forth what is the expectation of when you participate in a mastermind intensive, what it looks like, what it feels like, what are all the benefits, what can you expect coming out of it, what is my promise of value to you, and then you make a decision and you say, right, I'm all in. Then we work out a payment plan. If you're like, yeah, I'm not ready for all of that, we refund you your money. It's just that simple. But at least you're still deciding while your spot is being held. It's like you're reserving a table. You're reserving your seat at the table while still reserving the option to cancel. But if you're out on the outside thinking and decided, while you're out here by yourself thinking and deciding, other people are getting the seats. And what I told you, and I'm a woman of my word, we're not doing more than 50. 50 might even actually be too much. So I may shut it down to a smaller number. But once the doors are closed, the doors are closed. Like because like I said, it's a mastermind. So people get to get the benefit from you, and you get to contribute and also get the benefit. It's not a one-sided thing where everybody just comes and take. The mastermind works when people are together. You get the power of the board of directors. You guys know what that's going to be like to have a board of directors for yourself, for your company, for you? Good morning, Sunshine. Who is this? Let me know in the chat. So let's read. And I'm just loving the storytelling that's happening in this book about the ideas of what people think you should be doing with your life, right? You should be doing this. Well, you were a nurse. You should be doing that. Just, we get to shake all of that off. Shake all of that off. And it's about here. What do you love? What is bringing you joy? What is making you happy? And you heard the speakers yesterday talk about the fact that the monetization comes after. Michael had the most beautiful, wasn't Michael's playing? I mean, like, who could just like lay and luxuriate and read all day and listen to that in the background? Just beautiful. I'm telling you, I'm literally still on a high. But when you think about the idea of that quote that he said from that young golfer that says, she's focusing on learning to enjoy the journey and knowing that once she does what she was talking about, like practicing, and that once she does that, enjoys going out practicing, hitting balls for 2 hours, 3 hours, that by doing that and enjoying that practice, not just thinking, oh, I just want to get there when I'm in the winner's circle. All I want to think about is like holding up the trophy. No, it's enjoying the practice of becoming, of being, of feeling, when you literally feel your energy shift, when you feel your leadership shift, and you're like, wow, I'm really expressing as a completely different person. It's magical. So let us continue on. So, all right, we read on. How did so many of us smart women get stuck settling for less than our full glory? How did that happen? We let epic get removed from our mentality. We settle. Good morning, beautiful Melody Dixon. How are you, gorgeous? Hello, Marion. Lovely to see you, gorgeous. Thank you for joining. So we're reading on in The Audacity to Be Queen. How did so many of us smart women get stuck settling for less than our full glory? We let epic get removed from our mentality. We've learned how to follow the status quo. Pay and manage our bills online, read Jane Austen, highlight our cheekbones, but we haven't been taught how to thrive. We have been programmed to be a good woman, a good wife, good mom, and of course, hard worker. We have been taught to focus on the important assignments of pleasing our man, our boss, the accounts receivables department at Amex, plus keeping a roof over our kids' head. So we haven't really had the time or brain cells to think about how to answer our highest calling. Seriously, when was the last time someone asked you, what do you want? What do you want? So I'm asking everyone in the studio right now, what do you want? What do you want for your life? What is your vision for your life? Not what you think it ought to be, should be. I'm a mom, therefore I better put in some stuff here so I look like a good mom. What do you want? Stripping off any shoulds, stripping off any ought to, stripping off anything else. Just you, and you are enough. You alone. What do you want? More likely, we've been told by the other loud voices in society that whatever our spirit longs for is too unrealistic, expensive, and improbable to happen. So why even ask? Making others' voices more important than our own breeds self-doubt and self-abandonment. Whoa. The first whispers of you can't, or what will they think, or that's not possible, sends our beloved dreams straight to the graveyard. It's as if, unless there's a panel of judges celebrating our ideas in front of a stadium of cheering fans, we think our vision can't work. Making matters worse, the world deems it irresponsible for a woman to take risks, to be wild, outrageous, passionate, and courageous enough to go for something big that inspires her, whereas Henry Ford went bankrupt twice. Walt Disney almost tanked his studio for going over budget on his first animated feature, and Steve Jobs got fired from his own company for being too visionary and demanding. Clearly, they weren't worried about being called a bitch and didn't let refrains of "that's not possible" stop them from living their purpose, making millions, and changing the world. Does that connect with you guys when you hear that? Because if you think about the companies, if you think about the individuals who have made an impact, whose names you know, whose brands you consume every day, these are not the timid, I'm wondering what they're going to think about me. Oh, is she going to like me? They don't have those character traits. That's not for them. So I want to bring it together for you in this way, that if you're looking at and you're admiring those people, I told a story yesterday about Estee Lauder at the retreat. I told that story. Oh, good morning, Carrie. I'm just checking to see who's coming this morning. I asked myself maybe a half hour ago, not society standards, just me, and I couldn't answer. Wow. Carrie, always thank you for your transparency, your vulnerability, authenticity. Because that's what happens, right? When you feel so stifled that you can't even like exhale, put your arms out and go, what do I want? And answer and dare to dream. That's exactly why she says the dreams go straight to the graveyard. Total fun, freedom, Jacqueline says, doing tons of fun, luxurious advancement, and plenty to share. What do you want? Yes, what do you want? You will soon get that question asked of you many times, Melody. Trust me. my God. Yeah. If I didn't tell you, Melody is right now actively in leadership. So she goes back, I think, at noon. So yeah, we get to answer that question. What do you want? And it's very revealing when you can't answer that question for yourself, because we have been either spoon fed or we've been shown, well, this is what you should want, like almost like brainwashed into thinking, this is what you should want. Don't dare ask for that. That's too much. Don't be greedy. Don't be gravelicious. Don't be like all over this. Just enough is enough for you. That's good enough. We are created just below the angels. I need you to hear me say that all the time and remember that. And remember the power that God has given angels in their hands. And you get to act like you know that. I was watching, I forget the name of the documentary. It was saying something about this. Ask yourself that. Oh, it was actually, no, it wasn't it was American Idol. And one of the coaches was saying to one of the singers, like, loosen up, you gotta, it's stage presence. You got to take the stage. That's, it's not just having the good voice, it's taking the stage and really owning the stage. And that's what they mean by stage presence. And he said to him, what would happen if you just didn't care? This idea of like, what would happen if you didn't worry about what other people thought? So it's almost like I'm asking you now to put yourself in this safe space, this cocoon, let's just say, right? The walls are, 10 feet thick. Nobody can hear you. The doors are sealed. Everything is locked. And you could just express to yourself what you want. What would life be like? Like, what would you want? Like, dare to do that. If it's a matter of you don't want to say it because, your friend over here, or, the one we always call her by name, Good Time Tina, is going to say, are you smoking again? Are you crazy? Like, what are you talking about? Travel the world. You don't even speak French, let alone Swahili. Where are you going? Listen, let's just go get a reservation at the Breakers. Let's go. It's 2 for 1 happy hour, right? You can't eat. It doesn't even come out of your mouth because the people around you would literally look at you as if you have gone mad, as if you have come undone. That is why it is so imperative for you to realize you've got to take action and you've got to get out of your circumstances and your situation. If you can't right now ring up 2 or 3 people and say, hey, this is what I'm wanting. I'm going to be doubling my income. I'm going to be creating a 6-figure business by the end of this month. And I'm hiring a house manager. If you don't have people that you can say that to, that they're not going to like laugh and scoff and go like, is she mad? You get to enroll with me in the boot camp and the mastermind, because those are some of the things that we do. And what I want you to hear me say is, it's because I have seen it happen live in my own life. The minute I shifted and started working every single day with my mentor, David, and then I took on another mentor for another area of my business, and I'm working with them it's a year-long program I am into. Because I get to see for myself. I told you the story. He was like, he doesn't do anything with his dog except play with his dog. He's a dog manager. You get to see what's possible. So now I can say, yeah, you know what? I'm going to start looking for a house manager come September. That nobody's looking at me like I'm crazy, because the people I'm rolling with in these masterminds, they're like, yep, absolutely. Yeah, my house manager is great. I love it. So it is amazing what shifting can happen for you. Do you guys know what's about to go down? I am about to enroll Dr. Ken Colwell, Dean of the Business School. to do some amazing, magnificent things for the people in the CEO program. Like, he's so all on board. Like, did you see how we just like leaned into that pricing strategy masterclass? It was just, I felt it. I was like, oh my gosh, he so gets it. He so understands what needs to happen. And he showed up and didn't go, well, that's not what we talked about, right? He just rolled with it. One of the VIP questions was about pricing and how do we show the social proof of what you do. And he went in and he was just like, you need to double those prices. And this is what you're going to say because it's about the promise of value. And I just was like, look at this. The board meeting has already started. Awesome. You're welcome. You know me. I am the proud broken record. I'm the proud broken record. I will say a thing 20 times if that's what's required, because sometimes we're not ready to hear it. I'm all trust and believe. I don't care. People like, oh, she says the same. Yep, that's right. I'm gonna say it 10 more times too. So what I want, very simple. Okay, let's see. To spend time with my siblings and my nieces and nephews. And when you think about the spending of the time and the quality time, that means time where you're not looking at your clock. That means time where you could be like, you know what, we're vacationing in St. Thomas for a week, and your nieces and your nephews are like, oh, it'd be so fun to just pretend like we were here for a month's vacation and really got to know the people in the island, and you could just make one call and make that happen. That's what Tasha was talking about, choice. It's freedom and it's choice. That we don't have to got to do nothing. That if we did want to say, you know what, we're having fun here. Why don't we just like stay here and then we can like go over to Aruba for another like couple weeks and just check out the scene there and say hi to Tiffany and her friends. We haven't seen them in a minute. Okay, babe, sure. One call will make it happen. Call the house manager and say, rearrange stuff. We're not coming home for 2 more weeks. That's what we're talking about. That's that choice. That's when you get to show up, not just as a worker, not just as a self-employed person, but as a CEO who can make those decisions and be very confident in that, and then have things in place to make that happen. Then again, I feel I need to be looking to be successful. You need to be looking. What does that mean? Help me with that. Jacqueline says, I want to work from the boat and travel. Look, stop at marinas, not just one. We're just cruising on down. Again, choice. But you get to set things up in place in your life and in your business to be able to do that. This is why I'm showing you the importance of having support and having a VA, so that if you decided, you know what, let's just go down to Jupiter and go to Guanabanas. We haven't been there in a minute. So we're just going to shoot down from, Stewart and just keep going. Choice. You can do that. You know what? Let's just keep going. Let's just go down to one. We haven't been down to that hotel in a minute on South Beach, and let's just hang out. Life is now. Let's just be fun and spontaneous, Warren. And choice. Call the house manager. Lock up the house, get this, come meet us, bring some food for the rats because we didn't plan for this. Ship down, 2 days worth of food. What choice? Yeah. Melody, that was me too. I was like, I know she's not talking about a housekeeper, because she would have said a housekeeper. No, honey, she has a house manager. Miss Shanda has a house manager. I love it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we actually are going to Aruba. It's on our cruise. So Jim and I booked a 9-day cruise, and then we're going to stay in Panama for 3 days after the cruise, and then we fly back. And what I tell you, we booked a first class ticket one way back. We're like, you know what the heck ever. Life is now. Choice, to be able to make that decision, to be able to decide that is an option. To what Gina was just talking about, don't let epic be removed from your mindset. You get to have an epic life. It is not relegated just for the chosen few, but you get to put some things in place for you to make it happen. You get to be like Peter and keep your eyes affixed on Jesus and walk on that water. But the minute you look around, the minute you look, oh my gosh, it's $5,000 for the program, or oh my gosh, and that's when you're going to start to drop. You just have to be like, yes. What did Tasha say to you? You say, yes, I want to do this. Be decided. And then the how gets sorted out. Do you want to be a CEO of you with your own board of directors, with your own assistant, with me and the rest of the coaches leaning into you, holding you accountable, supporting you with every single thing that you have going on for 6 weeks straight? Do you know how on fire your business is going to be? You get to say yes to that first. You don't get to try to figure out how and then say yes. See, then you're coming at it from the wrong direction. You have to say yes. You get to say yes to yourself first, because that's an energetic shift, because you're saying, no, I am worthy of this epic life. I am worthy of this. I'm going to say yes and figure it out. That's how the people who are successful that we're looking at, the Steve Jobs, the Forbes, when Ford told his R&D and development team, he's like, I want I think it was a V8 engine in the Model T. They were like, that's impossible. There's no, like, it just, he's like, basically was like, figure it out, make it happen. He's like, oh, it's going to take months. He's like, make it happen. What did he get? A V8 in his Model T. You have to be that resolute, that irrational when it comes to you having your epic life. Right? You gotta learn, is ready, me not so much. Yeah, get ready, honey. Epic. Put back epic in your life. I get to have an epic life. So I am going to, I think I get to go. Yep. I'm going to wrap us, because now I have one of my leadership things that I get to do right now. And I'm in a call at 10:30 right now. So I love you guys so much. There's the link. Go get enrolled. Remember, it's a $250 refundable. What it does for you is it holds your space while you're deciding, you and I going to get resourceful to figure out what exactly needs to happen for you to get in. Remember, I'm the CEO of me. I can do anything I want. I can make anything happen. Don't assume and make stories up in your mind that, oh, I'm not going to be able to afford it but you get to put your $250 down and show me that you're serious, because we're only taking serious people who are like, yes, I'm ready for epic life. I love you guys so much. I'll see you back here tomorrow. We'll have more time to chit chat, kiki, luxuriate, but bye for now.